Storygoers, and welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Cartridge, the video game storytelling podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Eric Penrod.
And I'm the co-host, Ryan.
Ryan, it is snowing outside actively right now.
Yes, sure is.
The main weather is trying to actively get to us, but we persevere as we record this podcast, and with our luck, the power will probably go out. But how are you, and what have you been playing?
I am doing pretty good. It's been a very weird 2 or 3 weeks of like getting really sick, and then just work getting really nuts, and then just life being generally pretty busy. But I'm doing pretty good right now, and I have Monday my work is closed, so I have a 3-day weekend, which is great. And then though it's a school break week, so I'm gonna have. I'm not off, but have some downtime in my work a little bit. So that will be a good way to recharge before things get a different kind of busy as we start seeing like 200 kids a week as we try to play group and see them all and see how well they play with their students. So that'll be fun and exciting. So just mentally preparing for that. What?
Is exciting the word you want to use for that?
No. Not exciting. Stressful and intense, and who knows what type of students we are going to see, but it'll be fine.
Yes.
And we'll do our best to make sure everybody is in a place where they can get the support they need to be successful.
Woo! We love it.
Yeah. And then as far as I've been playing, some bits and bobs. I finished Sea of Stars. I don't know if we've talked about this, but
you started it, and we talked a little bit last time.
I finished it, and it was really nice. Very reminiscent of like an old school turn-based RPG with like some fun mechanics. The story was very nice and very sweet, and ended on kind of like a bittersweet but hopeful note, which was really cool. And overall, it was just a really nice game of a lot of really charming characters who were all like trying to be kind to each other, which is always great. Mm-hmm. I played a very little bit of Civ 7, just the first age, and that was fun. I don't know how I feel about the whole experience yet, but it was fun enough. It felt like Civ. And then we successfully did. We very successfully played some Monster Hunter Wilds, which I've played Monster Hunter before, probably almost a decade ago on Switch. Maybe not a full decade, but close. For Monster Hunter World when that came out. Yep. I think that's 2 games ago. You haven't played a Monster Hunter before.
Never.
And it was fine. I mean, I think I'd love to hear your experience. I mean, the multiplayer aspect, we battled against the system for almost a full hour before we could get it to work, and it was very obtuse and nonsense, and I don't think particularly great. But we got there, and then the game was fine. I mean, it's the thing I like most about Monster Hunter is you fight a big cool monster, you get its parts, you make cool armor and weapons, and then you fight even bigger, cooler monsters. And in the beta, you don't really get to do any of that. You just fight the same, like, kind of sad, weak monster over and over again and don't get any better weapons.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a good proof of concept. I'm still debating if I'm going to get the full game or not. But we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. It's a game where I don't know if I would play it by myself, but if there's other folks... our friend David has expressed some interest, but I don't know if he is actually interested or not. So we'll see. If other folks are getting it, I will. If not, I'll hold off and try something out. There's some other games I'm interested in, but we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. But Eric, how are you? And what have you been playing?
I'm good. I'm just persevering. That's the word of the week. Mm-hmm. Perseverance. Yeah. Persevering, whatever the word is. It's that word. And I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. We're getting through. I'm really enjoying the snow. It's kind of fun having a snow day. It feels like, I think I probably said this before in the almost 5 years we've been recording. I feel like when it snows, I have this kind of feeling that the world's just kind of at peace. You know, it definitely is not right now with this no peace going on, but it just kind of feels like that nice day where it's like you're stuck inside. There's nothing else you can really do about it. And it's just nice to kind of accept it and just embrace it. So that's what I'm trying to do. So we'll see how that goes by the end of the day. But yeah, you're right. We played Monster Hunter Wilds. I had never played before any of the Monster Hunter games. And I think overall, it was like, I think we did more hunting of the UI in the game to figure out how to play together than it was hunting monsters. But I think overall it was pretty good. I wish I had played on PlayStation and not PC. I feel like PC was kind of hard to play. I kept swinging into the air of nothingness And I didn't know how. I had sent you a picture of a.
Still have no idea what that symbol is.
Yeah, of an icon I was supposed to be pressing to focus on the monsters, but I literally have no idea where on my computer that button is. I have no idea what that button is, and there's no word for it. I'm sure there's probably some way to look it up in the game itself, but I just didn't have the patience for it. So I was just swinging wildly and hoping I would hit. I will say that the game is kind of a downer when the monster's just trying to get away from you and it's like limping away. It feels a little like, ugh, like this just feels like I'm just being mean at this point. And it wasn't even bothering me. I came to find it, and then beat the crap out of it, and now it's just trying to get away and sleep, and I'm just like relentless. So I don't know if I want to buy it either. I'm not sure if I'm there. I'll probably keep thinking about it and seeing. But besides that, I mean, I really enjoyed. There were parts where like other monsters would come up and just attack the one that we were attacking, and it was like we were both like, "Whoa! Like what is happening?" Or one tried to like run away, and the rock underneath it crumbled and it fell to the ground, and it got hurt more, and it was like wild. It was Monster Hunter Wilds. Is that the whole point? But no, overall, it is. I'm glad we played it though. I'm glad I can say I did play a Monster Hunter game. So I've never been able to.
Yeah.
I never played it before. I've never been able to play. That's not true. I just chose not to play, but it's fine. For other games, the usual Fortnite. I'm really diving heavily in the ranked aspect of Zero Build, and I'm a Diamond 2. I'm only I think 1, 2, 3, 4 ranks away from the highest rank.
Wow!
But man, these kids are destroying me, Ryan. I know. Yeah. I just get wrecked. I get wrecked. Like. I will shoot at them, and I think I'm hitting them, but I think I'm not hitting them perfectly, obviously. They'll hit me like 4 bullets, and I'm like dead. Like they're so spot on. Like they just are so good, and I just panic. Yeah. I'm like, oh, what do I do? And then they always get me though. If I try to run away, they find me. They get me. It's horrifying. But I'm trying. I want to get to Diamond 3. I'd be very happy if I can get to Diamond 3. I'd feel very successful. So I've always talked myself out of the ranked. I don't know why I get like super anxious around it, but now it's like nothing, so which is good. So yeah. Same with Marvel Rivals. I'm Gold 2, which I'm trying to get up there. I really want to get to Platinum so bad. I'm finally getting the hang of it. I think I'm finally getting it. I was kind of in that mindset where like for games like Marvel Rivals and Overwatch, I think it's easy to get lost in the idea that if I get enough kills, I'm a good player when that is not the game at all. And I think that's the struggle with the lower ranks, is a lot of people see it as if I need to get more kills. If I get a lot of kills, then I did a good job, and that's just not the whole point of the game at all, is to get kills. And it's kind of misleading in that regard. So yeah, it is what it is. But I'm almost a diamond, or almost a gold 1 in Marvel Rivals, almost there. And last but not least, I'm gonna wrap this up fast. I keep talking. Last but not least, I didn't play these games. I watched a lot of them on YouTube, some playthroughs. First was Poppy's Playtime. His Chapter 4 came out, and these are games like Poppy's Playtime and Bendy and the Ink Machine are 2 games I don't think I ever would want to play on my own. I just think I'd get into them too much, and it'd be a little too scary, and I wouldn't get into it. But watching someone else play, I feel like I get more out of it. And I really like. It's silly. They're both silly games. You know what I mean? Like the idea of them in a real world is kind of silly. But Poppy's especially, I feel like I'm really enjoying a lot. I really like the story of it. I like what they're doing with it. I think the gameplay wise, it's still good. They have these little audio moments where you find like a VHS of a certain color, and you find the corresponding VHS player. Is that the right word? VHS player?
Yeah, VHS player. Yeah.
Is there another word for it? Am I stupid? Cassette player? No, because cassettes are music.
VCR player.
VCR. Oh my god. Yeah. Wow, Ryan, I'm crazy. The 90s are leaving me. Oh my god. I used to use VCRs every day to record Toonami on a daily basis.
And now it's fading away.
Oh my god, what's happening? What is reality? You find like
go buy a VCR player.
go buy a VCR.
A VCR. Yeah.
But anyway, find a corresponding color of a VCR for the tape, and then you put it in, you can watch it, and it gives you the lore, and it's all well and good, but like it's just kind of janky. But when you look at the story itself, I think it's a game I wish we could cover on Tales, but I don't think I could ever do well to cover it the way that it needed to be to correspond like how significant the game is or the story. But I'm just really liking it a lot, though. It's really sad. It's like for a game where like these characters in this game for Poppies. Like, there's literally toys for kids that you can buy at, like, Target. It's a really dark, horrifying game. It's a really disturbing game about kids just being abused and manipulated into these horrific monsters, and the ramifications of that. And there really is no happy ending for any of these characters. Like, it just, misfortune just keeps following all these characters that you meet.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like weirdly impactful in a deep emotional way. It's very sad. I think it's why it's so gripping. So like, it's kind of nice that there's not kind of this happy wrap up to all these chapters. It just continues to lead you down this path of like, what are you even doing? You just continue to try to figure out what you're doing, but more misfortunes coming along the way of all these broken, horrible people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, very, very interesting. And then I watched, because Poppies is, chapter 4 is out and that's it, and we're still waiting for chapter 5. But I watched Bendy and the Ink Machine because it's still in the same vein of like Poppy and Five Nights at Freddy's, all those kinds of things. And I think Bendy, gameplay wise, wasn't hitting it for me. I was watching it, I was like, this is just not. I'm surprised it was like as big as it is. Though I will say the story had a decent story to it, and the ending kind of made up for that in my thoughts of how it ends kind of justifies playing it. I'd say, though it's a game I would never want to actually play myself. It's more of like I watched it, I enjoyed the story for what it is, and then that's it. So yeah. Anyway, that was a long exposition, but hopefully, Storygoers, you are doing well with the latest episode of our Campfire Story, our supermarket simulator. I had a really good time writing that one. I think writing these horror Campfire Story episodes for games that are not supposed to be scary is kind of fun. As shared by our listener, with 3 E's, wrote in and said, why hasn't anyone commented? This is great, which is super, super nice of them. Thank you so much for commenting that. It was very kind of you. And if you want to be cool like you can send us a thought, feeling, or perspective to talesfromthecartridge@gmail.com. All of the E's are 3's. You can also find us on our social media, or answering any of our poll questions down below, or leaving a comment, and we'll read all those in a future episode. If you want to donate to our Patreon, that'd be super cool. Please rate us on Apple and Spotify, and all of those super duper cool things. But Ryan, we are here today. We've actually covered a topic like this before, but we thought it is February. It is corporate driven Valentine's Day.
For sure.
Let's embrace the idea of it. And,
we're here to hopefully get some corporate sponsors.
Yeah. But what are we? Do you want to tell the Storygoers what we're talking about today?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're doing a character wheel, as we do, but we're gonna put together some partnerships. The initial assumption being a romantic one. We're gonna spin the wheel. We're gonna get a couple couples and pick which couple we think would be more successful, and then we're gonna kind of have those 3 couples go at it at the end. All of these names randomly generated by a wheel full of video game character names. So who knows what nonsense we will get and then have to justify and figure out which of the best of these options are. Maybe we'll get lucky and get something that makes sense. Maybe we'll get a bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense, and we'll have to do a lot of work to get us there. But either way, it's going to be great.
And we're going to be rating these couples based on 4 criteria. And here it goes. Here's the 4 criteria.
And I think, Eric, before we go into this criteria, everybody internalize these criteria, because I think in all of our relationships we can really learn a lot and think about these criteria is in as experts in this field. I think it's really important that people take this information in and really reflect on it. Yes.
I've always thought of ourselves as experts on couples and all these things. It's just really my strong point throughout my life, really. Just can't get away from them. Yeah. But no, those criteria are the following 4. 1, communication. Of course, it's key. It's how couples work. You figure things out by talking, right? In all sorts of ways, not just vocally, but, all sorts of communication. Anyway, nonverbal too. But, communication. There's compatibility. How compatible are these 2 people? And yes, I know what you're thinking. There could be thruples. There could be quadruples of people, but we're just going to stick to the duos here. We're just going to do couples of 2, just to make it a little easier. Couples of 3, that'd be a whole lot spicier, but also difficult to judge, in my opinion. I don't know about you, Ryan, but I just don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of wheels to spin.
It's a lot of wheels.
We don't want to overheat the character wheel. It's all we got. We lose it, we'll be lost.
Yeah, communication, compatibility. Next is emotional competence. How emotionally competent are these people? Are they able to handle their emotions? Are they able to, calm themselves and work through the difficult emotions that an individual can feel, especially within a dynamic with another person, right? Or is it kind of weighing on the other person and this couple to manage the other person's emotions, which is just not healthy. No one wants that. Don't be with a person that can't be emotionally competent. That's exhausting. You have enough emotions on your own plate. So yeah, but being supportive is good. And of course, last but not least is how cute are they together, right?
Yeah.
They have to look cute. Like, Absolutely. It's just, are they look like siblings? That's not going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
gotta look cute together.
You gotta look cute. You just gotta look cute. So, yeah, those are the 4 criteria. We'll see how this goes. Ryan, any thoughts? Is there any couple that you would like to see pop up here on the character wheel?
I don't think there's a specific couple I have in mind. I'm really excited to see what twisted creations are going to be made by the character wheel today.
Yeah.
And what dark plans it has for us. But I don't have any specific things I want to see other than I'd be curious to see if out of all of these spins, if we get anything that makes any sense.
Yeah. I think we might. I'm going to say we're going to have at least one couple that makes total sense. 2 couples.
Yeah.
One's easy. 2 couples. I'm going to say 2 couples make total sense.
Okay.
All right. And if I get it right, then...
You all know.
Then you'll know. I'll say rate us 5 stars. That seems a little silly. I don't want to say that.
Yeah. I mean, you should, no matter what, whether we get it right or not, you should rate us 5 stars if you're listening.
Yeah. That'd be super nice. We've been at 4.7 stars on Spotify for a while, which is super kind. Whoever rated us 4 stars, we're going to find you. But for everyone else that rated us 5, thank you so much. And if you feel it in your heart of hearts to rate us 5 stars anywhere else, we'd be really, really appreciative of it. Let us know what you think. What do you want us to cover? What perfect couples are you looking for? I'm really hoping for something different, something wild. I know what you're saying, Ryan. You want something that's straightforward, be kind of nice. But think about it. Cloud from Final Fantasy and Tails from Sonic. Would it work?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
It'd be weird.
Yeah. It might be.
But I want to see it. Big Daddy and Peach. That'd be kind of interesting. Yeah. Communication would be really hard.
Right.
Because the Big Daddies sound like whales. But you never know. All right.
Never know.
I'm gonna click the wheel now. The wheel is spinning. Here we go. All right. I'm gonna sip some coffee. I had no milk for my coffee. That sucks. All right. The first. Oh, this is hard already, Ryan. This is already very, very hard. Okay. Remember how I said there'd be no thruples? Maybe we could take one out. I don't know. But the first one we have is Ratchet and Clank.
Okay.
So, I mean, should we just say Ratchet?
I think they're together. I think Eric, we have to figure out a throuple here. I think we have to.
We're already
take the wheel. What the wheel gives, we have to work with.
We must obey the wheel.
This is its dark vision. Yeah. We have to.
All right. Remember how I said no throuples? Sorry, out the window.
There could be a quadruple if we get Banjo and Kazooie. So let's just see.
Can you imagine how that'd be wild? No, this is. You know how Ryan? You know how you said this is probably gonna be weird. We have a lot of work ahead of us to talk this through and make this make sense.
Yeah.
You were right, because the next person is Nemesis from Resident Evil.
Okay.
Yeah, from Resident Evil 3. Everyone loves a good, not talking horrific character that just hunts you down and beats you to death. So, that's interesting. Okay, so Ratchet and Clank and Nemesis for the first couple. That is an interesting pairing. And then for the next couple, for couple 2 of the first round, we have Virgil from Devil May Cry. Wow, these are just all very emotionally not competent people.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for us, characters in media to be interesting are often not emotionally competent. Yeah. So we'll have to see how this
you know what I mean?
Out. Yeah, I think it's maybe to help us learn. Learn.
Well, guess what, Ryan? We're still on that trail of 0 emotional competence because we got Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay. I don't hate that pairing.
I actually don't hate it either. Pairing. They're kind of cute. They're kind of cute.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to describe it. Never mind. I'm afraid of insulting people, so I don't want to do it. I don't want to say anything I shouldn't. So okay, so for round one, couple one is the thruple of Ratchet and Clank and Nemesis from Resident Evil, with couple two being Virgil and Knuckles. And Ryan, remember our criteria, everyone. Our criteria to understand this, the rubric is communication, compatibility, emotional competence, and how cute are they? You know what I mean? And Ryan, I'm going to start from the gate if I'm cool with this. Like we've already just said, Virgil and Knuckles, they're cute. They're kind of a cute couple.
Virgil and Knuckles are cute. They are a cute couple. They've got like this, like, you know, dark personality, but like brooding. Kind of very brooding. They're both very brooding.
Yeah.
And if they can get to a place where either they can like work through that brooding together or just brood together, I think that could be really great.
Yeah. They're almost like the will they, won't they kind of couple that like...
Absolutely.
You don't think it would work, but somehow they keep gravitating towards each other.
Yeah, they've broken up like 12 times, and they just keep coming back together. Yeah.
I think communication would struggle for Virgil and Knuckles. Honestly, for both couples, but for Virgil and Knuckles, as we're kind of on them right now. Yeah. Compatibility is weirdly there for me. I don't know why.
I agree. I think there's some shared world outlook.
Yes.
There's some shared, like, possibly lived experience. I don't know a ton about the history of either of these characters, but I have an idea in my mind of what their history is.
Right. Everyone knows that. Okay, let me jump in.
Please.
I'm going to jump into the lore that I've accumulated through my 33 years. Virgil, the twin brother of Dante, chip on his shoulder, wants to... He really loves demons. Wants to bring demons back in a big way. Dante's not so much. So Virgil loves the demons, right? Knuckles and an echidna, whatever that is. I don't think it's a real animal, but okay. And then he hunts for the Chaos Emeralds, as one does.
Right.
Always losing them, always going to hunt them again, which in a relationship would bother me so much. I'd be like, can you please get your job down a little bit? You're constantly... It's like you don't want to be around me. You keep quote unquote losing these Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
It's like Dragon Balls. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But worse.
Absolutely.
So, but I think in terms of communication, I think they wouldn't say they're in a fight, right? They're fighting, they're sweating, as couples do, and I don't think they would communicate right away. But I think it'd be that moment where like their backs are against the wall, and that's when it's like, you do this and I'll do this. Yeah, let's do it. And then they would do it, and it would work.
There together,
and then they kiss. Yeah.
And they would look cute together.
They would look so cute. I think they would look cute. Yeah. I think Knuckles kind of helps. He's kind of cartoonish, but I think it would work. Yeah. Whereas I don't. But also emotional competence, 0 for both of these two.
Neither of them.
No emotional competence at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan, what are your thoughts on Ratchet and Clank and Nemesis?
Okay, here's my thought. Here's where I'm at so far. Ratchet and Clank. I get no like romantic vibes between the two of those individuals.
Yeah.
Which is they're just like really, really, they're like brothers. They're like really good friends. So I'm a little struggling to then pair that with another. My only thought is Ratchet and Clank are not necessarily in a relationship together, but they are both in a relationship with Nemesis. He's like the core.
I think, Ryan, call me old-fashioned. I just think that would create a kind of jealousy between.
I think if they're all they've all agreed that they can handle it.
Oh, I don't.
You know, maybe
they could.
I think Ratchet and Clank could. I don't know if Nemesis can, but in this situation, Nemesis is getting everything they want out of the situation.
I guess. I feel like communication would be 0 because Nemesis does not talk. I don't think.
Right.
As far as I know.
Right.
But maybe compatibility. Maybe there's something in Nemesis that Ratchet and Clank separately. You're right. Maybe it's like a sister wives kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank are the sister wives to Nemesis. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's my thought here because I get nothing from Ratchet and Clank together. I don't think they see each other in that way. Yeah. So in my mind, the only way is if they both are in a relationship with Nemesis and they've all agreed that we'll see each other at separate times. We're really good friends. We're both into you. Let's make this work.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know a ton about Nemesis. I know a lot about Ratchet and Clank. I don't know a ton about Nemesis.
Yeah.
So I don't know what exactly their Like, I think if you're looking at, like, Ratchet and Clank at the end of their most, like, furthest in their journey, both of them are fairly emotional intelligent.
I would say
emotional competent, and they're pretty good at communication because they've gone through a lot, especially with each other, right? They've gone through a lot together.
Right.
And they've, like, supported each other through a lot. Like, there was a time when Clank left because they got in a fight and they were separate, and then they got back together, and, like, there's a lot of really good history between the two of them. But I don't know if that same thing is with Nemesis. They both have to just really be into Nemesis to be willing to kind of make this work.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I just don't see I don't see the communication between the three of them. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank have good communication. I feel like Nemesis is kind of just along for the ride. He's kind of just has a hot bod, I feel like, in this dynamic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if that's all Ratchet and Clank want in this situation, I think that's fine. But I don't know, like long term, that's enough to maintain a long, healthy relationship.
Yes, you're right.
Because I don't know Nemesis's physiology, but most hot bods fade over time.
Ryan, that is such a good point.
But I don't know Nemesis. Maybe Nemesis never does. And if that's the case, then maybe there's your reasoning right there.
I mean, I don't think he even has lips, but, like, let's find out. RE3. We're actually Googling this really fast. Yeah, he's pretty scary. He has no lips, a lot of teeth. He's a lot of teeth. He shows a lot of teeth. Yeah. He just is kind of a big boy. He's just kind of, I mean, he carries a rocket launcher, and I feel like that'd be hard to use. So it must be a little bit, not emotionally competent, but competent in violence, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I think the only situation here is, like, Ratchet and Clank. This Nemesis is really their thing, and they're both willing to put up with whatever this is because he's both really their thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's as strong as the other grouping we have here.
I don't find them as cute. I'll be honest. I'm going to say that. I'm going to bite the bullet, Ryan. I just don't find Ratchet and Clank and Nemesis as cute as Virgil and Knuckles.
Which that's saying a lot because Ratchet and Clank are both cartoon characters designed to look in some ways cute. 2 out of 3 are designed to look cute, and it's still not doing it for you. I think that speaks volumes.
I think so too.
To how much Nemesis is bringing them down.
No offense to Nemesis, it's not all about looks. Maybe there's a heart of gold in that mutilated body, but I don't. He just constantly is following people and beating them up. Zero emotional competence in terms of. I think he's kind of bringing down the pairing of Ratchet and Clank a little bit. I feel like they're kind of settling. I said it. They're kind of settling right now.
They're kind of settling.
And I just think they deserve better.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think you're being honest and fair.
Yeah. Because there's no wrong answers.
Right.
You're right. If this is a real relationship, which I would have so many more questions, it would be not my place to judge, obviously, as I wouldn't.
Right.
Because judging is a very bad thing to do. But this is all fake, and I feel like judging is okay. And I'm going to be harsh.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I think we have our answer. I think we have our answer. I think it's got to be Virgil and Knuckles.
They're cute.
They're pretty cute.
They're a cute couple.
Eric, I would give you this as one. I think this is one of your two.
Yes.
Yeah, like this is a pretty good pairing.
Already there. Right in right now. The whole question of this episode could be, is Virgil and Knuckles cute together? But you write in right now. If you disagree with me, let me know, because I will happily fight you.
Are we missing something about Nemesis?
No. Okay. Have you seen him? Have you seen what he looks like?
Yeah, I googled him. Yeah,
he just follows you.
Monstrous.
He's like he's like a variation of like Mr. X from Resident Evil 2. Yeah. And I think there's some people who would say Mr. X is kind of hot in like a Mr. Clean Hulk kind of way. Sure. But Nemesis is just he's constantly trying to kill you, shooting rockets at you, big and brooding, toxic masculinity in my opinion. And I'm just not about that. That's not healthy. So, yeah. So Virgil and Knuckles for winner of the first round.
For sure.
Sweeping it. And the spins again. What is the next couple? I'm sure we'll probably get another thruple at this rate since I jinxed it already one time. Here we go. Fox McCloud, the first person in couple 1, and Fox McCloud from Star Fox will be coupled with. Wheels slowing down. He is with Spider-Man.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna say Spider-Man 64. Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man 64.
We covered that before, yeah. Or we can say We can say PlayStation Spider-Man too. We should probably pick.
Probably should. I don't know if I think you would understand the nuances of those Spider-Man Spider-Folk better than I would. I don't know if I have a preference other than obviously Spider-Man 64 is going to be similar like polygon shaped to Fox McCloud.
He's basically just really sarcastic. Is kind of the vibe. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think that sounds pretty good to me. Spider-Man PlayStation Spider-Man is too complex. I think this relationship to work.
Wouldn't quite work out. Okay, good.
And we covered Mario 64. I feel like it's only fair to give it just dues. Yeah. All right, so couple one, Fox McCloud, Spider-Man 64. The next couple, Chun-Li is the first one.
Okay.
Chun-Li and Chun-Li is coupled with Donkey Kong.
Okay. All right.
Whoa, a lot of animals in these couples. We thought Knuckles was weird, but guess what?
We got Donkey Kong and Fox McCloud. Okay, all right. You know what?
You know what? Everyone laughed at Sonic the Hedgehog when he kissed a human princess in whatever game that was. Shame on you for judging. Shame on you. How dare you judge a porcupine kissing a human passionately, lovingly, and then never talking about it again.
Yeah, exactly. And then moving on forever.
Forever.
That's what we should be talking about. Honestly, that's not okay.
That's not cool, Sonic. Really kind of a jerk move.
Yeah.
You don't kiss and run. No. Not from love.
No.
All right.
Okay.
Couple one, Fox McCloud and Spider-Man. Both I think are kind of like, they could be serious when they need to be serious and funny when they need to be funny. You know what I mean?
Baseline speak the same language, which you wouldn't think is important, but I think for the purposes of our character wheels, it's important.
It's important. It's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both, kind of like take charge, have to kind of think on their feet.
Yeah, they're leaders.
Leaders, yeah. Which, do you think, Ryan, a couple that have two leaders in it are going to work together? Or do you think they're going to butt heads in terms of communication?
I think it entirely depends on their emotional competence and their ability to self-reflect and respect the leadership of that other person to I think it can work, but maybe it's going to take a little more work than somebody who is more not interested in making decisions and just kind of following.
Yeah, I don't see that as these two. I think they make decisions and they make the best decision they can in the moment they think is going to be the successful thing to do. So I think there's a lot of emotional competence there. I think there's good communication between the two that could occur. Compatibility, I'm not sure. I'm a little off with that one. I'm not sure how compatible these two are. They seem like they're on a second date kind of couple for me right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're just kind of feeling things out. It's not one of those ones you look at like, this is going to work.
Right. I mean, like when Vigil and Knuckles, like right away we're like, oh, you could see this going places. Yeah. I'm certainly not getting that same feeling from this pairing. I think like there's certainly some shared experience of like getting through difficult situations and having high stress situations that they have to work through, and they have that. But yeah. Yeah. And Eric, I'm gonna say I don't particularly find these two cute together. I don't know why specifically. I don't know if it's my own biases or not, but it's not clicking for me.
Yeah, it's not clicking for me like the other couple.
Yeah,
honestly, there's something about Chun-Li and Donkey Kong that just seems to work. I don't know why.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the big dumb strong, and then like the competent woman combination. That is kind of
King of Queens. This is King of Queens.
Yeah,
as a video game couple.
Yeah, and I would watch this
Honestly, though, I kind of would too. Thick arms and thick thighs. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Talk about compatibility. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Oh.
What a pairing.
Yeah, what a pairing. Yes. They're cute together. Yes. The King of Queens in video game form. Communication might be hard. I honestly do not understand if Donkey Kong can speak English or not, or speak any language besides Monkey.
It really depends on.
Really hard.
It's really hard to tell. I think depends on the game experience. And I also don't know if Chun-Li speak English or is that there?
I mean, I guess her. You know what? I think she does. Technically, I think she does.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what, Ryan? I'm gonna say probably maybe not though. Chun-Li language. Let's look at this up. Let's see if Google has to say. She speaks Mandarin Chinese.
Okay.
Her primary language remains Mandarin Chinese. She speaks English in the games, though. Of course, those are translated. So, sorry. She has been noted in universe. This is what Wikipedia, trusted source, is saying. Noted in universe for her fluent English. Okay. So, all right. So let's look up Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I mean, in the Mario movie, true. Not that is the end all be all. I'm assuming we could understand the word Seth Rogen was saying, and he wasn't just making gorilla sounds. Because that would be a waste of Seth Rogen. But maybe you just speak gorilla or Kong.
Maybe.
Eric, maybe that's what's going on.
Maybe. Okay, so I'm hearing here. His English varies across different games and media. In the Donkey Kong Country series, he speaks fluent English, but in Donkey Kong 64, he uses broken English and speaks in the third person. In later games, he does not speak at all and makes ape noises instead. So really, we're kind of everywhere with this.
It really depends on where they're at.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say I think we should kind of just go between the two. I mean, this is our thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yes, Seth Rogen did show us that he is competent in English. I think we can even go the middle ground, just saying he speaks broken English.
Yeah, and I think that would be fine. Especially, I think there are couples who don't speak the same language, and I imagine the communication is a challenge. But folks have found a way to make it work, and I think they certainly could.
Yeah, I think so too. I think communication would be hard. I think it's possible. Absolutely. Compatibility, weirdly there. Not sure why Chun-Li seems compatible with a monkey.
Absolutely, I don't know why either.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I don't know if technically Donkey Kong is technically he a gorilla, or is he like some type of like in the same way that like Toad isn't a mushroom, right? It's like a mushroom person. Is Donkey Kong like a gorilla person?
He is. Let's see here. A large gorilla character.
Okay. All right. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it seems to be it. I think emotional competence. Chun-Li does seem very cool, calm, collected, very in control of her emotions. She seems like the kind of character that's very understanding of how she feels and knows how to kind of get those emotions out in a constructive way, whether it's kicking you in the face or whatever. Donkey Kong almost a little bit too. He just charges up that punch, smashes you, and then he's all calm. Not sure
and I think
competence, but
there's definitely like again, depending on which Donkey Kong we're working with, there's like a wide range of emotional intelligence shown across. I don't know the timeline, where all these games fit in the timeline of where Donkey Kong is, but there are certainly moments of like taking care of others and protecting folks and having a family relationship. They're all there.
Do you remember the Donkey Kong TV show?
Vaguely.
Oh, it was so good.
Was it?
Was it? It was a TV show, I think, right? Am I crazy?
Did it come out after the very good N64 game? Donkey Kong? Whatever it is.
Donkey Kong 64?
Donkey Kong 64, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think so.
With all the characters?
Donkey Kong Country, is what it was called. The show. It began airing in Tokyo... on Tokyo TV in October 1st of 1999.
Okay.
It was a... You seem so impressed. It was a good show.
Everyone had a TV show. Everyone had a TV show for a little bit. Chun-Li was in a TV show, I bet.
Oh, man. Wait, hold up. We're about to get a little R-rated here, and I apologize.
Okay.
I won't be too explicit, obviously. This is probably being weird. Everyone's like, where are we going with this? No. If you were a kid of the 90s, then you probably watched and you like video games, of course.
Yeah.
You probably watched the Street Fighter movie. Not the live action. I think it was Street Fighter 2. I don't know why I said it like that. Street Fighter 2 movie, I think is what it was. Street Fighter 2, yes. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. There is a scene We all know the scene I'm talking about if you've watched the movie.
Okay.
And it was a little bit of an awakening for everybody involved. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. Vega, classic character with the mask and the Wolverine claw on one hand, right? Attacks Chun-Li at a very vulnerable opportunity, and that's all I'm going to say. But it was pretty wild at the time. I felt like I was getting away with something I shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Sure. Okay. If Donkey Kong was there, could have probably helped. I don't think Chun-Li needs the help. She could have.
Yeah. I mean, I think she struggled a little bit because she was caught off guard in her defense. Yeah. And she was in a very vulnerable situation. I just want to want to put that out there. Yeah. Good movie. But no, he definitely would have helped. Donkey Kong. I think Donkey Kong could take Vega for sure. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I also think I don't get the sense, and Eric, I think for a lot of folks that we could spin on this wheel, Chun-Li might be like pretty threatening to them as an individual. Yeah. I don't get that vibe from I don't know why. I don't get that vibe from Donkey Kong that Donkey Kong would just be like excited and happy to be there.
I think so, you know too. What I mean? He's not toxic.
No.
I don't see him as toxic.
No, absolutely not.
And he smiles. He's expressive. He goes to Mario Party and plays there. I just don't think... I think he's just a nice guy. He does Mario Kart.
They're both in fighting games.
They're both in fighting games. They love fighting games.
They love fighting games. Yeah. There has never been a crossover, right? Like, there isn't a game in which you could kick Donkey Kong with Chun-Li.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
One day. I hope we were so close. Yeah. I love Ken. Don't get me wrong. Ken's my boy from Street Fighter, but I think it would have been kind of cool to have Chun-Li in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate besides Ken. But you know what? I'm sure it was probably a lot easier to make Ryu and Ken. Yeah. Develop those two together, very similar characters, than it was to develop two different characters entirely.
Right. Okay.
So,
Eric, do you have I'm
clear
like
favorite.
The other one. I have a clear favorite here.
Easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy.
Okay.
I also think I've met my quota. I think I did it.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
too.
so. It's easy.
I think absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
Eric, you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Chun-Li and Donkey Kong. 100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
No contest. Yeah.
Man,
wow.
Easy. Nothing wrong with Fox and Spider-Man. They're just like, I think they're just better as friends. They're better friends.
Yeah.
Ryan, you called it. These are some weird ones. These are some weird couples. But we're spinning the wheel again. This is the last round.
Yeah,
until our final round.
The winner is. Man, depending on how good of a couple we get out of this one, we might have like a throwdown battle for the finals.
Yes. I think this could not end well, though, depending on the situation. We'll see. As our first one is Ellie from The Last of Us.
Okay. Ooh,
yes.
Okay.
Ellie is a lover of the women, so we'll see how this goes. This may hurt. Ryan, this is a weird couple.
Okay.
Because we got another thruple on our hands. Banjo and Kazooie. More animals.
Okay.
More animals. Every round we got at least one animal.
There's a lot of animal creatures in video games, Eric. It's gonna happen.
I know. You're right. Okay, let's spin the wheel again. You could look at us and be like, are Ryan and Eric authentic? Are they telling us the truth? I wouldn't have said Banjo and Kazooie unless Unless I was being authentic. So
yeah.
All right, our next one for the last couple, for couple 2 in this last round of round 3, the first person in couple 2 is Rayman. Rayman famously having no arms but floating hands.
And feet.
Yeah.
They don't float. I guess his body floats above his feet.
Yeah, you're right. His hands float though.
Yes, absolutely.
I know nothing about Rayman, and I think this is gonna make it even harder because Ryan. The last person of couple 2 paired with Rayman is Tiny Tina.
Okay.
So I'm really not. I'm not feeling great about either of these couples. I'll be honest with you.
No, absolutely not. Especially, I mean, I think. Yeah, Ellie. I mean, Ellie struggles to be in a relationship with somebody who is fairly compatible with them and has had shared experiences, but I don't know if Ellie's in a place to open themselves up. And then Banjo and Kazooie are just like these like beacons of joy and happiness, and I think she would crush them. I
do too. I just don't think it would work. I think Kazooie would just be what's the word I'm thinking of? Kazooie would be like just sarcastic and really passive aggressive towards Ellie, and would really throw a wrench in the dynamic. And Banjo, I just don't think is the vibe.
Yeah,
for Ellie.
I mean, I certainly think there's like Ellie is going through something where she just wants like somebody goofy and silly to see if that will work, but I don't think ultimately that's what she needs or wants. I don't think it's
Banjo.
Yeah.
And then Rayman, I know nothing about Rayman. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of low-key sad that we picked him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much. I have played a Rayman game, but you don't get a ton of like characterization other than like here's a person and they generally want to help people. I mean, I think like there's a world in which Eric, picture this: you're playing Borderlands 4, right?
It, yeah.
You're playing Borderlands 4, and Tiny Tina, rolls in and has this very weird, strange, out there character with him, and just says, "Hey, we're a thing." I don't know how much you would question it knowing Tiny Tina is the thing. I think you'd be like, okay, Tiny Tina, I hope you're happy. You've had a hard life. You know what I mean?
This is what you need. Yeah.
Like, had a really strong emotional attachment to like a jar with a hat on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Almost too much, right? Yeah,
right.
It's yeah. So I'm doing a little bit of research on Rayman. Okay. So let's. I'm gonna read you again the very reliable Wikipedia page for Rayman that someone took time to write. I just want to point that out there. Someone took time to write this page for Rayman in Wikipedia. Think of them as you do, whatever you want to think. He was conceived. I'm so sorry. He was designed by French designer Miguel Ancel. I'm probably saying that very wrong. He conceived Rayman. Wow, he conceived Rayman. He conceived Rayman as a teenager in the 1980s and noted that his simplicity and directness made him perfect. Wow. Okay. Perfect. They needed a character with a personality who could perfectly connect with players. So apparently Rayman is perfect. Even though he has no actual limbs. I actually really thinking a whole lot about his personality.
I don't think there's much personality to Rayman other than like, hey, I'm here to help. Let's go save these little guys who are trapped in a box. There's some altruism there, I think.
Yeah. So it's noted here, his personality as an adventurer with a sense of humor is inspired by Indiana Jones. He is defined by his ability rather than his appearance or any traits of individuality or autonomy. So, yikes. So he has a sense of humor, which also Tiny Tina does too. So, let's say that as you will. Neither of these couples are cute.
No, I don't. I mean, I think like, no. You're absolutely correct. Neither of these couples are cute. Nor do I think either of these couples would work particularly well. I don't know if it's like an art style thing. One like Rayman and Tiny Tina for some reason like could exist. I don't think would work. In a way, Ellie and Banjo-Kazooie, like that feels like such a stretch. They're just so different in their worldviews and world experiences, and like their everything that feels like really difficult to make work. And Ellie doesn't have the emotional competence to get them there. And you would know better than I do about Banjo and Kazooie and their emotional competence and either of their ability. And unfortunately, I mean, I guess like both the con and the pro to couple two is like Tiny Tina unfortunately has dealt with a lot of mental stress and has caused her to have a bit of a breakdown in a way in which like maybe Rayman and her would work okay. I don't see there being like too much conflict there necessarily.
I guess.
But I don't think it's like, a winner.
I think she would just pick on him for not having limbs.
Possibly.
You know what I mean?
But do you think that would like do you think Rayman, in the really extensive research you just did, is able to handle that kind of
if he has a sense of humor of Indiana Jones, I think he could.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he could. More so than Ellie with Banjo and Kazooie. I just don't... Can you imagine the horrifying look of Banjo and Kazooie as they see Ellie just gun down Gruntilda in cold blood?
Or stab them.
Like stabbing them.
like stabbing them multiple times.
Yep.
Whereas I think, again, I think part of the challenge here is Ellie is the most fully developed of that I have experienced of any of these characters on this list that feels like a full human, and it is very hard to pair that with anything else. As hard as it would be to pair like somebody I know in real life to a fictional creature in a really weird way.
Yeah.
Where Rayman and Tiny Tina feel enough removed from real beings that it feels more manageable for my brain for some reason.
I just want to get rid of these couples so bad. They suck.
Well, there's certainly... I mean, I think, Eric, no matter what, we know that neither of these are going to be able to hang with our winners of the previous round. So,
Should we move on?
We could pick a winner here, but really it doesn't matter because neither of them are going to beat the power couples we have coming. No, absolutely not.
We're going to the final round. We're going right to the final round.
Sorry, crew. This last pairing, the character wheel did us dirty.
Didn't work.
And we tried to make it work. Character wheel, please. Please
don't forsake us.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
it truly is a tale of two loves of Virgil and Knuckles, and versus Chun-Li and Donkey Kong.
Yeah, powerful couples here.
Yes, each couple consisting of one human / demon person and an animal.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I think for this we're really gonna have to lean on the
cuteness.
Rubric.
Yes.
And the cuteness.
No, wait, what did you say? I'm sorry.
The rubric.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're really gonna have to lean a lot onto that because I think these are both just some great. It's a great pairing. But both for very different reasons and are gonna create very different relationships that look very different.
I agree. I think let's look at communication, right? I am going to go out on a limb and say I don't think that Virgil and Knuckles are going to have as good of communication as Chun-Li and Donkey Kong. I think that they're going to butt heads at first, and then the communication will work after they get to a point where they need to communicate. Whereas I think Chun-Li and Donkey Kong, Chun-Li would be like, Donkey Kong, you go beat these guys up. I got these guys. I can see them, honestly, Ryan, this is how good the relationship is in my mind. I'm building up right now. I can see them like dancing together as they're fighting people.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's kicking people. He like spins her around. He punches someone. Like Virgil and Knuckles ain't doing that.
No, they're gonna need like a lot of experiences, shared experiences, and like up and downs before they're gonna get there in a way that it seems like you're saying in the other couple. It feels like it would become more natural more easily. So like, all right. So if we were to give a number rating 1 out of 4 for communication, where do you put these two? With I guess we'll say 4 being the highest.
Yeah, I'd say 4 being the highest. Yeah, I would say this is my take, but Ryan, please tell me what you think as well.
Yeah.
I think for Virgil and Knuckles, the communication is going to be a 2 because there's not going to be amazing at first. It's going to take like a desperate struggle to get to that point where they communicate effectively. Whereas Chun-Li and Donkey Kong, I would say I'd give them at least a 3, but I want to say a 4. For some reason, I feel like they're going to be able to communicate, even though there's potential English there between the two. I don't think they're going to butt heads. I think they're going to be able to communicate with each other effectively. So.
I mean, I think if we're defining communication, because there's obviously multiple ways to do so. If we're defining communication as like the just ability to understand the words they're saying versus the ability to understand the intent of what they're asking and following through, I think that's where you get the 4.
Yeah.
I think if it's purely like your ability to understand that person, like verbally, I think like Virgil and Knuckles both feasibly speak English, right? But are they going to actually listen to one another?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's I think that you know what, you're right, Ryan. Just because they have the gift of speaking the same language to one another doesn't mean they're going to use it.
Yeah, because like a lot of couples speak the same language. That does not necessarily mean success.
Ooh, I'm snapping my fingers. That was a good one, Ryan.
Yeah,
that was a good one. I think I just read that out of a self-help book. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely.
That was great.
A self-help book that's talking about the virtues of Donkey Kong and Chun-Li's relationship. That'd be a good book, though.
Oh, for sure. How to find love.
Yeah.
Oh
man, you could write a self-help book that is like focused at like folks who play video games and like uses those relationships to help them identify what a successful relationship should look like.
Ooh, so not Nathan Drake and Elena.
So probably not Nathan Drake and Elena. Maybe that could be an example of a relationship that, like, you know, gets there, but look how hard they had to fight, and look how many mistakes they made when they could have just got there earlier and not had to, you know, do the things they did.
Kill a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, but I agree about the 4. And all that to say.
Fair.
About the 4. And I think, like, if you look at compatibility, I think the reason that's a 4 is because of compatibility.
Yeah.
Like, the reason they can't the Virgil and Knuckles would struggle to communicate is they're both, like, think they're right. They both are fairly I'm assuming, heads. Correct me here. Yeah, they think they know what the best thing to do is, and they're both going to push towards that. And So I think that is where that communication breakdown happens, and because they don't have the tools, maybe they can't get there
until they need to.
Until
They'll do
they
it when
need
they
to.
need to.
Yeah, they will eventually get there. They will eventually get there.
They'll get to the same destination, but they're gonna have to go through so many more hurdles to do it.
Yeah,
of their own making. You know what I mean? They're gonna put themselves in those positions rather than just communicating.
Yeah, because they won't communicate. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so on compatibility, I think this. What
Ryan
I'm
looks very stressed right now, Storygoers. I just want you to see that.
What I'm struggling with here is, at face value, I think they're both probably equally compatible, right? Like, at first glance, Virgil Knuckles, yeah, of course. Chun-Li, Donkey Kong, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think it's when you dig deeper, that's where you get that other layers, and I don't know which we want to measure.
Ooh. I think here's my take. And I think you're right, Ryan. So here's my take. I think what I'm thinking is this, but please tell me what you think as well, obviously.
Yeah.
I think, like you're saying, both are very compatible. When you see that, you think, yes, these two could totally work. I think you give the edge to Chun-Li and Donkey Kong because I think there's less hiccups between the compatibility compared to Knuckles and Virgil, who are very, like, headstrong, kind of like more individuals than they are a couple in the sense. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the hiccup for them, is that it would be, though they are compatible, it will not be all, what's the saying, roses and butterflies? What is that?
And more roses.
More roses and more butterflies and hornets.
Yeah, and hornets. Of course, they always forget that part.
Yeah, hornets are scary. That's what love is. It's all about the roses. Okay, anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so are you thinking, like,
I
hear that.
3. You know what I mean?
A 4 and 3. Okay.
That's my thought. I think it's still high.
I think that makes sense. I do think we're starting to run into a numerical problem where, unless you think Virgil and Knuckles are going to take it away with the next two, I don't think there's much of a chance. Not that we shouldn't play it out, but I think we're running into a numerical issue where Chun-Li and Donkey Kong have won each one. They're up by 3 right now.
Yeah.
So you need a swing of, let's play out emotional intelligence, because that'll cinch it for us.
I think, so when we take emotional competency, right? We're talking about, like, no, you're fine. You're good. I was going to think of the word. When you think of emotional competency, you're thinking about being able to regulate your emotions. You have your coping, skills. You have your means to communicate your needs. That's more communication, but just the emotional emotional competence of understanding what the needs are, though. And I don't know. I kind of feel like these couples are kind of equal in that regard a little bit. I don't know why I feel that way. I feel like maybe Chun-Li and Donkey Kong less or more so, just a little bit, because they aren't kind of like the gruff and, like, do it my way or the highway kind of people like Virgil and Knuckles. But I still feel like they're still potentially emotionally competent in their own rights.
And I really think you have to think at, like, what is their emotional intelligence like day to day, but, like, when there's a crisis or a stressor, how are these two groups going to react in those situations? Right. Because, like, having an emotional intelligence when things are fine and there's no issues is a lot easier than when you're going through something really difficult or a stressor. So how do these? Because I agree. I think like on if you just look at the baseline, they're probably both in a pretty similar place. But I think if you put them into a high stress situation, which couple is going to have the tools to navigate that?
Yeah. Ryan, I think I'm just ready to make the decision.
Yeah, I think I am
too. What about you? I will say, though, I want to say for the record, as we wrap this up, I think they both are equally cute.
For sure.
Both couples are equally cute.
Both couples are very cute. They're like these two different types of... They're both different couple archetypes.
Yes.
They're really cute and entertaining to like observe and see exist in the world. This like bad boy. Like, ooh, right? Like hot. Those, and then you have like the big strong lady and big dumb, but also strong.
Yeah. Big heart of gold.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
You know what it is, Ryan? You know what it is? I think Virgil and Knuckles are like the shipping couple where like you see these two characters that wouldn't be together and you ship them, you want them together so bad. And then Chun-Li and Donkey Kong are like the what's that novelist? The Notebook novelist. You know what I'm talking about? Jordan Sparks?
I don't know their name, but I think you might be right.
Am I right? Wait, hold up. No, I'm not seeing it anywhere. Nicholas Sparks. What did I say?
You said Jordan Sparks?
Something like, I got Sparks right.
You got Sparks right.
I'm proud of that. Yeah, they're like the Nicholas Sparks of like relationships, right? Like the you didn't think they'd ever meet, but they fell in love, and it's like raining somehow all of a sudden, and they just mwah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we have a clear winner here. I think it just makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We all love a bad boy, but they just don't go as far as a real couple.
They don't. Yeah, and I also think, maybe that's a good message for us, our Storygoers, to leave from, is like, shipping is fun, but it doesn't always make successful relationships,
Exactly. Be careful who you ship.
Yeah.
Is it, honestly, they might not sail.
That's so good.
Thanks. Oh, we'll put that in our book.
But that's the book.
No one take that. It's probably been done so many times. I probably heard that from someone before, and I'm just stealing it like I thought of it. But yeah, it's pretty clear. Chun-Li and Donkey Kong
absolutely
are the couple.
Yeah.
Of all the couples that we created today in a horrifying way, just so many animals.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah, that's all right.
Love transcends.
Absolutely.
Love.
As long as the animal can consent.
Oh, that's so true. That's so true. Right, that is really the biggest asterisk in the whole thing. There, that is really a huge part of this whole thing. I mean, if it can consent and speak a language in some way, shape, or form, and communicate that it is consensual, then yes, that is so true. If not, then that is not okay. Yeah, we're really not cool with that at all.
Yeah.
We don't need that. We don't need that on our backs. Tales from the Cartridge. Supporters of we don't need that. We don't need that. I don't want to finish the sentence.
Yep.
But Storygoers, let us know what you think. Did we get it right? Is Chun-Li and Donkey Kong the couple, or were the bad boys the ones all along? Or was Ellie and Banjo and Kazooie better than we thought? I don't think so. But let us know. talesfromthecartridge@gmail.com. All the E's are threes. Also, if you're listening on Spotify, scroll down, leave us a comment. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? We'll also have a poll question. I have no idea what I'll do for that yet, but answer if you want to. And then, of course, if you want to join our Patreon, cool. Please rate us 5 stars. If we got this right, and if we got this wrong, 5 stars.
And in your comment, put what we got wrong.
Please, let us know. Did we get it right or wrong? I really want to know. And also, I called it. Two cute couples.
You did.
So
you did great.
I thank you, man. Thank you so much for saying that. That's so kind of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but of course, Storygoers. I mean, it's past Valentine's Day now, but but hey, every day should be Valentine's Day, whether it's with your partner or just yourself.
Yeah,
love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you later. Bye. What's that novelist? The Notebook novelist. You know what I'm talking about? Jordan Sparks?
I don't know their name, but I think you might be right.
Am I right?